It's the Battle of Texas tonight in the NFL. You got the Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys. Texans are a 7.5 favorite. We got an over-under 41.5. It's not the most exciting game on the weekend, but we don't need an exciting game to bet on. We're going to look at the stats, find out some picks we can make. Alright, we're starting by looking at the home team Cowboys offense. The big story here is Cooper Rush is going to be quarterback. Prescott's hurt. So this is a major downgrade to an offense that was up and down as it was. Rush has 115 yards. Game he took over for Prescott against the Falcons. And then a miserable 45 last week against the Eagles. The backfield's been a mess. McCarthy announced Dowdle's going to be the RB1. I don't know why it took so long. Zeke Elliott looks done. So the last couple weeks, Dowdle has had 75 yards with 32 receiving and a touchdown. And then last week, 53 and 3 yards receiving. Elliott last week coming off that one-game team suspension. He had 6 yards for 22. I believe he fumbled too on his first carry. Hasn't looked good. I'm not betting anything on Elliott unless there's an over or under where I could pick the under. CeeDee Lamb, he's going to be really hurt by Cooper Rush here. Last week we had 6 for 10 for 21, still getting the targets. The week before, 8 for 12 for 47. He's had some nice games this year. 146 versus the 49ers. 89 versus the Lions, 98 versus the Giants, 90 versus the Saints. But it's hard to trust them in today's offense. Tolbert's been decent, our wide receiver too. Only had 14 yards last week, 19 the week before. He's had games of 40, 87, a couple touchdowns. Nothing too exciting to talk about in wide receiver 3. And then Ferguson, tight end's done pretty decent the last couple weeks. 24 last week, nobody did well last week. 7 for 10 for 71. Against the Falcons. Week 5 against the Steelers, he went 6 for 7 for 70. Against the Giants, we had 7 for 7 for 49. And we also have against the Saints, he's 6 for 11 for 95. They're facing the Texans, and this with the Texans giving up to opponents' offense. They had 5 interceptions last week versus Jared Goff. Cooper Rush is in trouble. He only had 240 yards passing. Aaron Rodgers the week before, 211 against the Colts. They got Richardson, only 175, and interception. They got 2 interceptions against Jordan Love, only gave up 220. Derek May, they only gave up 243, again 2 interceptions. Josh Allen had an off day against them, 9 for 30 for 131 in week 5. Passing defense for the Texans has been excellent this year, and they're going against Cooper Rush. That point spread pick is looking better. Against the rush, they've given up 200-yard days. We've got Taylor here week 8, and Aaron Jones week 3 for the Vikings. Jacobs for the Packers and Cook for the Bills. Both had decent games, 76-82. So Dowdle might be the play, might be the hope here, but they're not really giving up all that much on the ground. As far as wide receivers go, they've given up 200-yard games here. Week 1 against the Colts, Pierce had 125. And then again against the Colts, we got Downs with 109. We got a couple 90s here 2 weeks ago against the Jets. Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams both had 90, 91 yards respectively. 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown. Douglas on the Patriots, 6-9 for 92 and a touchdown. The rookie Thomas, 6 for 9 for 89 and a touchdown for the Jaguars. Justin Jefferson, 6 for 81 and a touchdown for the Vikings. So they're giving up some decent yards to the receivers despite not giving much up overall. So maybe there's some hope for CeeDee Lamb. I'm not holding my breath. As far as tight ends go, they've been pretty stingy. Laporta had 66 against them. Outside of that, we got Conklin with -3, Granson 4. Kraft 33, Henry 41, Kincaid 34, Strange 19, Munt, I didn't give him the yards there, Komet 27, and Granson over. So if we're looking for Cowboys players to bet on, I think we're looking at unders or nothing else. Taking a look at the Texans offense here, we see a team that's been up and down this year. They've had some injury trouble. Nico Collins has been out, Diggs has been out, and that's had some effect. We've got Stroud here is up and down here. Yards wise, 232, 191, 285, 86, 192. 331, 345, 215, 260, 235. So he's had some off days. The good news here, he's playing Cowboys who are really just playing for contracts now. And he's getting Nico Collins back. We might see a decent Stroud tonight. Mixon's been super solid all year when he's been playing. Last week off his 25 rushes, 46 yards. Still at 44 receiving. But I mean, he's had 106, 102, 115, 102, and 159. Bunch of touchdowns in there as well. He's getting some receiving yards here. 44, 32, 9, 30, 25, and 19. They're workhorseing him. 25, 24, 25, 25, 13, 30 up here. So he should get his touches, makes it a little bit easier, put some props on. Nico Collins is back. He's had some decent games here. Week 1, 117. Week 2, 135. 86, 151. and 78. And that 78 is the game where he went out. So he had 78, I believe it was the first half. So, I mean, he could have been on his way to having a big game there. But he got hurt. It's tough to judge when these guys come back. Are they going to get their full reps? Are they going to be up to full speed? Are they going to work back into game shape? So it's hard to put your full faith into them. But should be a decent betting option tonight. Tank Dell's had some nice games here. 39 last week is a bit tough. 126 the week before. He had 35 and a touchdown. 57 and a touchdown, 38, 62, and a 40-yarder week 1. Michi had a nice game last week, 74, touchdown, 5 for 6. I imagine he's going to be pushed back a little bit with Collins coming back. Although, if they step him up over Woods, he might be a sneaky, low prop, easy hit. Tight end, Schultz, getting some about 3-4 looks every game, 66 yards, 21, 52, 28, 27, 34, 34. 11, 11, and 17. Nothing too exciting, but consistent production. As far as the Cowboys defense and what they give up, they've been pretty solid against the pass here. Only one 300-yard passer. That's Jared Goff here. Week 6, 315. Outside that, Hurts 202. Cousins 222. Brock Purdy 260. Justin Fields 131. Daniel Jones 281. Lamar Jackson 182. Derek Carr had 243 on only 11 completions. And we got Watson for 169. They're giving up some yards on the ground here, but nothing horrible. Dale Barkley to 66, which these days is an achievement. Robinson 86, Mason 18, Montgomery had 80. Gibbs had 63 in that game as well. We got Harris for 42, Singletary for 24. King Henry had 151 and 2 touchdowns. Kamara 115, 3 touchdowns. Also 65 yards receiving. Ford, 44. So some decent yardage on the ground. Nothing that scares me off mixing bets here. Only 200-yard games given up here. Brown, week 10 last week. Neighbors, they just spamming the ball that game. 12 for 15 for 115, week 4. I still like Nico Collins to get some yards, but they're doing pretty decent against the pass here. Wide receiver 2's been getting up some yards. Mooney, week 9 for 88. Williams, week 6 for 76, and Shaheed 96 in week 2. Tank Dell could be in play here. For the tight ends, not too much. Kittle had a huge day, 128. Laporta 52 on only 1 catch. And that's it. I mean, we got 44, 1 yard, got no yards, got 6 yards, 22, 11 yards, and 25. So Ferguson probably going to see his 3 catches, 20, 30 yards. All right, let's take a look at the props, see if we can bet on something. All right, the more I looked at the stats, the more I liked the spread here. 7.5 plus 100. I think these two teams go in the opposite directions. I'm taking the Texans minus 7.5. So we got the passing props here. Cooper Rush 177. CJ Stroud 239. Stroud's been right around this number. He's had a couple games there where he struggled. I think we'll take this. I'm leaving Cooper Rush alone. 177 is not the highest number. I picked the under here if anything, but I don't like picking the under here. Just 177 is too easy to get. Gonna lay off the TD props. Rush only needs 1, but it's a minus 174. Stroud needs 2 at minus 114. I think Mixon, Hawks some touchdowns here. We'll leave Stroud alone. If you really think Rush is gonna struggle, is under at plus 132. No passing touchdowns. That might be the way to go. So we got the receiving props here. CeeDee Lamb 60 yards. A couple weeks ago that would have been a gift. Now, I'm not touching it. Nico Collins, 74 in his first game back. I think Collins is one of the better wide receivers in the game. That's not news to anybody. I'm worried about the injury comeback, but I'll take the 74. This Ferguson number at 33.5 is intriguing. 33.5. I think I'm going to take the over. Don't want to put any money on positive Cowboys results here, but this is a number he's usually around, and he's hit 70 a couple of games. Tank Dell, 47.5. The wide receiver twos have done a decent job against the Cowboys. I'm willing to take Dell here at 47.5. Dalton Schultz right around where we expect him, 27.5. I'm going to lay off Tolbert, 24.5. Not the highest total here, but laying off. Mixon, 18.5. He's been hitting this number. 2 weeks ago he had no yards, but the 3 out of 2 weeks he's hit this number. I might look at his rushing receiving totals. Maybe that's how I'll get him for this. Dowdle, 16.5. He's had a couple weeks where he beat this easy, and he has a couple weeks where he gets 3-4 yards. This most receiving yards of the game prop's interesting to me. I think he got Nico Collins as the clear choice here, and he's about even money. I think he go Tank Dell here plus 420 and hope he hits a big one or two. CeeDee Lamb, I'm laying off, but 240, not the worst odds. If you think Collins going off for 100, you go plus 205 right there. Tank Dell just needs 80 to get a 340 or 70 to get plus 235. Checking out the Russian props here. Stroud, I'm going to leave alone. Dowdle, you got 53.5. This is achievable to me. He's declared to be running back number 1 here, 53 yards. You can end up with something like 70. Again, it's just hard trusting the Cowboys. Mixon's hit this number of 89.5 every game except last week. I think he clears it easy today. I think he's going to be ample opportunity to run this ball. Rushing, receiving, you got Mixon 112, Dowdle 73.5. I don't mind playing Mixon here. TD props, I got Mixon minus 170. I think he gets one, but I'm not playing the minus 170. Nico Collins 120, Dowdle 135, Tank Dell 190, CD Lamb plus 230, Dalton Schultz 330, Zeke plus 360, Ferguson plus 490, Michi plus 500. CD Lamb, you can play a speculative play, like I'm really down on the Cowboys, but he still is elite wide receiver. He can break one. I think I'm laying off the TD props here though. So what we found the bet on here, Houston Texans minus 7.5, Stroud 239 over, Nico Collins 74.5 over, Ferguson 33.5 over, Tank Dell 47.5 over, Mixon over 89.5 rushing, Mixon over 112 rushing receiving. If I put this into a 4-leg parlay, Texans 7.5, Stroud 239, Dell 47.5, and 89 for Joe Mixon. $10 pays me $78.35. It's a long shot, but I'm gonna play it. Put in the comments what I get right, what I get wrong. What are you playing tonight? What picks you got? If you like gambling content, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll be here with daily videos for you. Good luck, and may the odds always be in your favor.